History is repeating itself, and almost no one recognizes the warning signs. A 52-year rhythm pulses silently beneath our modern financial world. This is not superstition. It is the cold calculus of mass psychology. We are blind to the cycles that are longer than a single lifetime. The year 2026 looms, a ghost from a past we have forgotten. Let us journey back to the first data point, the year 1772. A credit crisis shattered London and Amsterdam's bustling trade empires. The East India Company itself teetered on the edge of total collapse. Bankers vanished overnight, their paper fortunes turning to worthless dust. Panic is a virus that spreads much faster than any rational thought. 52 years later, the year 1824 dawned with roaring confidence. Latin American debt was the new obsession, the ultimate sure bet. British capital flooded out, chasing mythical El Dorado levels of profit. Then, the bubble burst with a deafening, catastrophic silence. The panic of 1825 ruined thousands of overleveraged speculators forever. The cycle had claimed its second victim with perfect, brutal timing. The year 1876 arrived, another 52-year mark on the calendar. This was the Long Depression, a slow, grinding economic despair. Railroads had been overbuilt, their promised returns never materializing. Unemployment soared, and the Gilded Age revealed its rotten core. The pattern held, a metronome of human greed and subsequent fear. Then came 1928, the precipice of the greatest crash ever known. Margin buying fueled an epic, seemingly unstoppable stock market ascent. The Roaring Twenties were a symphony of reckless financial abandon. The Great Depression that followed scarred the entire global generation. Banks failed by the thousands, erasing life savings in an instant. The 52-year cycle had delivered its most devastating lesson. The world vowed to remember, to never repeat those same mistakes. But memories are short, and financial pain is quickly forgotten. The post-war boom built a new world of unprecedented prosperity. Then 1980 arrived, the next inflection point in the hidden cycle. This time, it was the brutal end of the Great Inflation. Central banks aggressively hiked rates, causing a severe recession. Volcker's medicine was bitter, but it ultimately broke the fever. The cycle manifested not as a crash, but as a painful reset. And so we arrive at the present, the gateway to 2026. The signs are all here if you know where to look for them. Global debt has reached astronomical, utterly unsustainable new levels. Speculative mania has returned in a new, digital clothing. Cryptocurrencies echo the wild, unregulated markets of the past. Central banks are trapped, unable to tame the inflation beast. The housing market shows familiar, frightening signs of overheating. The political world is fractured, unable to mount a unified response. We are reliving the 1920s, but with smartphones and social media. The euphoria feels permanent, just as it did before the fall. The 52-year cycle does not predict the exact event. It only guarantees a period of extreme financial and social reckoning. 2026 will be a year of consequence, not a simple coincidence. The ghosts of 1772, 1825, 1876, and 1928 are stirring. They are whispering the same warnings they uttered in their time. Will we listen, or are we doomed to repeat their tragedy? The clock is ticking, relentlessly moving toward its destined moment. The hidden engine of this cycle is human nature itself. Greed expands, then fear contracts, in a predictable, rhythmic pulse. After 5 decades, the generation that remembers the last pain dies. A new generation arises, believing their brilliance has banished risk. They create new financial instruments, claiming they have tamed chaos, but the underlying mathematics of crowd behavior remains unchanged. Credit is the lifeblood and the poison of this entire system. In the boom, lenders throw money at anyone who will borrow. Asset prices inflate, creating a magnificent, intoxicating wealth effect. This continues until the debt burden becomes simply too heavy. One single event, a pinprick, is all it takes to pop it. A bank failure, a sovereign default, a surprising election result. Then, the panic spreads at the speed of light, just like today. Liquidity vanishes. The music stops. Everyone rushes for the exit. The crash purges the excess, but it also destroys the innocent. This is the 52-year cycle in its most brutal form. Now, let us look closer at the mania building around us. Meme stocks driven by social media defy all logical valuation. NFTs of digital art sold for millions, a modern tulip craze. SPACs and speculative ventures absorb trillions of dollars in capital. The fear of missing out is more powerful than any fundamental. Central banks, the supposed guardians, are now the biggest players. Their balance sheets are bloated beyond any historical precedent. They have no ammunition left for the next true crisis. Interest rates are the leash, and the leash is now broken. Governments are also trapped, addicted to cheap debt for spending. The geopolitical landscape is fraying, just as it did in the 1930s. Trade wars and sanctions disrupt the fragile global supply chains. This is the fertile ground in which the 2026 crisis will grow. The trigger is unknown, but the tinder is everywhere around us. It could be a sovereign debt crisis in a major economy, or the collapse of an over-leveraged, too-big-to-fail institution, perhaps a catastrophic failure in the shadow banking system. The specific event does not matter. The cycle's pressure will find it. The year 2026 is a convergence point, a gravitational center. So what can one do when faced with such a powerful tide? First, recognize the pattern. See the world through this historical lens. Resist the euphoria. The crowd is always wrong at the extremes. Prudence is not cowardice. It is the wisdom of the ages. Diversify, but understand that in a systemic crash, all correlations become one. Hold assets that are no one else's liability, like physical gold. Reduce debt aggressively. The best armor is to owe no one. Increase your liquidity. Cash will be king during the panic. This is not about predicting the day, but about preparing the mindset. The cycle is not a destiny. It is a warning we can heed. Let us revisit the past to see the future more clearly. In 1772, the warning was in the overextension of trade credit. In 1825, it was the mania for emerging market foreign debt. In 1876, the excess was in railroads and heavy industrial overcapacity. In 1928, it was margin-fueled stock speculation and income inequality. In 1980, it was the inflationary spiral from easy money policies. Today, we see all of these past excesses combined into one. We have global debt, speculative digital assets, and extreme inequality. The pattern is not just financial, it is also deeply social. Populist movements rise as trust in institutions evaporates completely. This was true in the 1890s, the 1930s, and it is true now. The cycle's turning brings not just bankruptcy, but also revolution. Art and culture reflect this shift from optimism to bleak pessimism. The roaring 20s jazz gives way to the somber blues. Fashion becomes more utilitarian, less ostentatious after the crash. We are currently at the peak of the ostentatious, gaudy phase. Look at the super yachts, the billionaire space races, the excess. This is the conspicuous consumption that always precedes the fall. The wise are already moving to the sidelines, watching and waiting. They are not timing the market. They are respecting the cycle. The key is to understand that this is not a unique event. You are not a snowflake. You are living through a historical season. The season is turning from the summer of credit to the winter. Winter is necessary. It clears out the dead growth and weakness, but it is also brutal and unforgiving to the unprepared. The question is, will you be a victim of the winter? Or will you be one of the few who prepared for its arrival? The storm is coming. The barometer of history is falling fast. The first drops of rain are already hitting the window pane. Do not be the person who says, this time it's different. Those are the four most expensive words in the English language. The mechanics are always different, but the human psychology is identical. Greed looks for a new vehicle, but its face never changes. Fear, when it comes, is the same primal paralyzing force. So we stand here at the edge of 2025, looking forward. The air is thick with anticipation, with a nervous, buzzing energy. The smart money is already silent, moving quietly into safety. The media is still cheering, reliant on advertising from the boom. Politicians are promising perpetual growth, a fantasy of endless summer. They are all actors in a play whose script was written long ago. You, however, can step out of the theater and see the machinery. You can see the ropes, the pulleys, and the tired old script. This knowledge is your shield. This perspective is your greatest asset. Do not try to get the last dollar from the raging bull market. It is better to be a year early than one single day late. The stampede for the exits will be swift, violent, and merciless. There will be no second chances when the crowd turns to panic. The time for preparation is now, while the sun is still shining. Strengthen your personal balance sheet as if your life depends on it. Because in the coming winter, it truly will depend on its strength. This is not a prophecy of doom, but a call for realism. Cycles are a natural part of any complex adaptive system. To deny them is to deny the very laws of nature itself. Embrace the cycle. Understand your place within its powerful arc. Do not fear it, prepare for it, and you will navigate it. The year 2026 will be a year of reckoning and of opportunity. For the prepared, it will be the buying opportunity of a lifetime. For the unprepared, it will be a financial catastrophe with no escape. The line between these two fates is drawn by knowledge and action. So take this knowledge. Study the charts of history's great crashes. See the symmetry. Feel the chilling, beautiful, and terrifying pattern. You now possess a map that most of the world ignores. A map written in the blood and tears of past generations. They suffered so that you, the aware, might not have to suffer. Honor their sacrifice by learning from their collective, painful memory. Do not be arrogant. The cycle humbles all who believe they are its master. Be humble before the great grinding wheels of economic time. Position yourself not for the next boom, but for the coming cleanse. Build a life that is resilient, not just one that is rich. Cultivate skills, community, and self-reliance over paper profits. These are the currencies that never hyperinflate and never crash. The storm will pass, as all storms have passed throughout history. The sun will rise again on a cleaner, healthier economic landscape. And you, the one who saw the pattern, will be there to rebuild. You will be the foundation upon which the next cycle is built. This is the secret purpose of the cycle, to clear and renew. It is not an enemy to be defeated, but a force of nature. Align yourself with this force, and you will find strength in it. Fight it, and you will be broken upon the rocks of reality. The choice, as it has always been, is entirely yours to make, to see or to be blind, to prepare or to be a victim. Let 2026 be your finest hour, not your most tragic failure. The clock continues its inexorable countdown. The cycle is awake. It has slept for decades, but now its eyes are open wide. You can feel its breath on the back of your neck, a chill. The financial media calls it volatility. History calls it the turn. Do not be fooled by the euphemisms of the doomed establishment. Call it what it is, the great 52-year financial winter. And like any wise animal, you must prepare for its arrival. Store your acorns of value. Fortify your den of safety. Wait. Be patient. The winter may be long, but it is finite. Spring always follows, without a single exception in history. And when the spring of the new cycle finally arrives, you will bloom. You will be stronger, wiser, and more resilient than ever before. This is the gift of the cycle to those who understand it. Not material wealth, but the profound wisdom of temporal perspective. You will see the world not in days, but in generations. You will become a steward of time, a keeper of its rhythms. This is the ultimate reward for heeding history's whispered secret. So, as the days count down to the pivotal year of 2026, hold this knowledge close. Let it guide your every financial move. Talk about it with those you love. Prepare them for the shift. Build your ark, not out of fear, but out of quiet confidence. You are not a doomsayer. You are a realist with a long view. And the long view is the most powerful view one can possess. The cycle is your ally, your teacher, and your sternest judge. Listen to its lessons now before it must teach you through pain. The data is clear. The pattern is undeniable. The clock is ticking. From the credit collapse of 1772 to the inflation of 1980. The thread connects them all, a scarlet cord of cause and effect. That same thread now leads directly to our present moment, to you. You are now a part of this great, unfolding historical drama. Your choices in the next few years will echo for decades. Choose wisdom. Choose history. Choose the safety of the cycle. Reject the hysteria of the crowd, the siren song of easy money. Embrace the quiet, steady discipline of the long-term survivor. This is the way. It has always been the way, the hidden path. Walk it with courage, and you will not be led astray by the madness. The year 2026 is not a curse. It is a test of awareness. Will you pass? Will you prove that humanity can learn from itself? The fate of your financial future rests upon this single question. So, study, prepare, act. The time for passive observation is over. Become the active agent of your own destiny within the cycle. Do not be a leaf blown by the wind. Be the tree itself. Stand firm. The winds of change are coming. They are inevitable. But you who see the pattern, you will remain standing tall. You will be a beacon for others who are lost in the storm. You will show them the map, the pattern, the way to safety. This is your purpose. This is the calling of the aware individual. To survive, to thrive, and to guide others through the turning. The cycle needs its stewards, its guardians, its living historians. You are now one of them. Welcome to the ranks of the seeing. Together, we watch the clock, understand its rhythm, and prepare. We are not afraid, for we have seen this story many times. We know how it ends, with renewal, with dawn, with new life. The pain is temporary. The wisdom gained is permanent and priceless. So carry this wisdom forward into the challenging days ahead. Let it be your shield, your compass, and your most trusted friend. The cycle of 2026 awaits. It is neither good nor evil. It simply is. Your reaction to it is what defines the outcome for your life. Choose to shape your fate, rather than be shaped by chaos. The power is in your hands. The knowledge is in your mind. The responsibility, therefore, rests entirely upon your own shoulders. Do not waste this warning. Do not ignore this ancient rhythm. Listen, prepare, act. The time is now. The cycle is turning. We will meet on the other side in the calm after the storm. We will look back and know that we saw what others could not. We will have earned our peace, our security, and our wisdom. This is the promise held within the hidden 52-year cycle. It is a secret for the patient, a tool for the wise. You now possess it. Use it well. Guard this knowledge fiercely. Share it only with those who have the ears to truly hear it. For the crowd will mock until the very moment the storm hits. Then they will scream for the help you quietly prepared for. Be merciful then, but be wise now. Your duty is to prepare. The final segment of this story has not yet been written. You are holding the pen. History is providing the parchment. What will you write? A tale of foresight or one of regret? The choice is yours. The cycle is constant. The outcome is variable. Choose wisely. The ancestors who lived through this past cycles watch. They are willing you to make the right choice, to learn. Do not disappoint them. Do not disappoint your future self. Heed the hidden cycle. Embrace its lessons. Secure your future. The year 2026 is coming. It is not a coincidence. It is a pattern. You see the pattern. You understand the mechanism. You know the history. This knowledge separates you from the doomed, panicking masses. You are no longer a passenger. You are the navigator now. Steer a true course. The destination is a safer, saner shore. We will reach it together, all of us who see the pattern. A community of the aware, built not on fear but on foresight. This is our story, the story of the cycle and its children. It is a story that will continue long after we are gone. Pass it on. Keep the flame of this temporal wisdom burning bright, for the cycles will continue long after the year 2026 has passed. This is not the end. It is merely the next great turning point. Subscribe for more hidden patterns the world keeps ignoring.